There we go. Oh gosh, there's always a lot of connecting pieces to putting one of these things together. I hope everybody's up here and ready to play. Let me see who I can say hello to. Sonia and Sharon. And that looks like Sarah. And why is it not giving me everybody's name? And a couple of Marilyns and Priscilla and Beverly and Will and Janice and Darlene and Pam and Carrie and Jane and oh, the names are flashing by. Sorry, Mary and Lisa and Vicky and Carol and Trisha and Lisa and Susan, who is in, oh, and Susan is new here. Woohoo! She lives in sunny British Columbia. This is great. We've got Maryland, we've got, and we have all kinds of places here too. So remember, if you're typing in the chat, go ahead and type, be sure that you use that drop-down box that says all panelists and attendees so that you get all that stuff in there. I want to make sure you guys have the warm-up. So here is the link for you. If you haven't gotten it, the link for today. And you might be surprised to see that this is a short link. Oh, David from Virginia. Hi, David. How are you? So nice to see you. Haven't gotten to see you and visit with you in a long time. Okay, so this is our no time to warm up, and this is different from the ones we've been doing lately because this is a simple one-page PDF, and sometimes we do longer ones. Julie from Indiana, yay! You do know that you guys test my understanding of state abbreviations, right? So that you know, I'm careful to tell my differences between my Massachusetts, Minnesotas, Maines, and Michigans, and all those things, and Montanas, and get all those right. So this is excellent. I need my geography. Idlewild, California is where Vicki is. Charleston, South Carolina, all these wonderful places. This is great. Love it, love it. So thank you all for being here. I am ready to warm up. How about you? All right, so let's get going. And Nancy is here. Nancy, you made it. This is excellent. Good. Okay, so let's talk about this. This is a really, really simple warm up. And this, when you get used to it, is the kind of thing that's going to warm up just quickly to get you what you need to do, boom, fast. It's not as the that we do. We have another nice one for next week, so so be prepared for that too. But this is a real quick and relatively easy one. It does cover some interesting circumstances, and so let's just take a look at some of the tricky stuff that shows up here. I am going to actually do this so that I can just sort of check, because I should be seeing if I can, oh, you know what? I can't check in with the Facebook comments because they're not coming up for me right now. Okay, so good morning from Finland. Hey there, Jane. Nice to, is it Jane? I think so. Yes. So nice to have you here. Cool. All right. So, so let's take a look at this warm up, but let me, warn you a little bit. Okay. Some pretty simple scales, not a big deal. I'm sorry for the tiny print fingering. I did this a little while ago before my own eyes started really appreciating bigger fingering. So, at some point I'll reprint this and we'll do larger fingers, but the scales are real simple 1 octave scales, nothing complicated here until measure 6 on the second line, second measure on the second line. Oh, and Debbie's here from Cambridge, Maryland. I love Cambridge, Maryland. I was just through there not long ago. So back when we were able to travel. This measure 6, second measure, second line, all of a sudden the fingering shifts, and instead of a 4-finger scale, of 4 fingers and other 4 fingers, it's a 3-finger scale. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we start then a bunch of 3, 2, 1 fingerings, right? Oh, sort of overlapping 3, 2, 1s. So just be prepared for that. Then we get to measure 9. That's a 4th finger on the 4th beat. On the 4th beat. Deb Gear is here. Yay, Deb. Good morning to you too. So the 4th beat of measure 8, you need your 4th finger. That may be one of those places you want to circle. Sometimes, I don't make a lot of notes on my page, but let me grab a pen here so you can see, and I'll show you what I would do. So, you know, the fingering for the beginning is pretty simple, so I would just sort of leave that. But then I would probably just circle one or two of the third fingers that show up in measure 6. Oops, there it is. So that, there it is. I have to do this mirror image, sorry. So, so that I would be aware that those third fingers were there and they wouldn't catch me by surprise. And similarly, I would probably circle this fourth finger, where is it? At the end of measure 8, so that I would not be lulled into complacency here and just put another third finger there and get stuck. So I would want to know about that fourth finger. And from there on, we launch into arpeggios and chords. Just a real quick study in the 1, 2, 3, 4, nice slow arpeggios, and then building chords. So in measure 13, the end of the next to last line, this is an unusual fingering as well in the right hand. 1 and 4, and then 3 and 4, then 2, 3 and 4, then 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it builds the chords without moving your hand. And then left hand does something totally different. It plays what it often plays, octaves. Just nice, oh, that's not quite in 2. Octaves, straight octaves going down, couple of chords, you can roll them or not. I'm not going to today, I'm gonna just do that. And then a final arpeggio and a chord. All right, so there's nothing that's too complicated. I see that Trish likes that is checking that the fingering is the same in both hands. Yes, it is. And in fact, I think it says that right at the top of the page, right? So that where there is no left hand fingering printed separately, it's the same as the right hand. So it says it right there for you. Up, and Sarah's here. Good morning. She says, good morning, Sarah, to you too. Excellent. There are some difficulties here, and I think that we'll find them when we get to the arpeggios, because those arpeggios are the same fingering and they're the same overall chord, but they are not the same notes. So measures 9 and 10 at the end of the third line are just a little bit tricky. I think they're the trickiest measures in the warm-up. And why don't we just take a look at those first, okay, before we start everything? So measure 9, G chord, but sitting on a B on the top, so it's B. Ooh, gosh, I have a callus that's too thick on that finger. I'll have to. So that's your right hand. You want to place all 4 fingers if you can before you play down. And then you're going to replace your thumb on the G, place the next fingers, and play that next arpeggio down. So do just the right hand with me for a second, all right? Just the right hand, measures 9 and 10. Ready, go. It's the B, the G, the D. Replace the thumb, place the other fingers. Okay, not too hard right there? Okay, and let's take a look at measure 9 in the left hand. That's a G with those ledger lines. Okay, the fingering will be the same, but notice that the notes are different, right? This G major chord actually starts on the G, G, D, B, and G, and then we'll replace to the B. Look at that just for a moment. That's a skinny replacing. It's your 4th finger, and then your thumb right a third above it. So you'll have to be very aware of where you're placing, because your thumb won't want to be that close to your 4th finger. And then B, G, and D, and B. So that's quite a ways away. All right, so let's do left hand for those 2 measures, measures 9 and 10 left hand. Ready, go. G, D, B. Then replace your thumb on the B, place everything else. Good, all right, let's do it again. Ready, from the G, ready, go. And now let's do those together. All right, left hand and the right hand up on the B. It should sound pretty, but the hands aren't doing quite the same thing. So be very intentional. I think since we're placing the first one, that should be easy. Just watch where your thumbs were placed as we cross the bar line. Okay, ready, go. Now replace those thumbs, place everything else. Okay, it's a little bit trickier, yeah? Let's do them again. Remember to be as clean and as deliberate with your placing as you can, okay? Ready? Measure 9, this is. Ready? Go. Replace your thumbs. Oops, I missed. Replace everything else. Okay, and let's try it one more time. Ready? Okay, again, measure 9, go. Watch those thumbs. Watch everything else. Okay, good. All right, we've conquered one major hurdle here. And then let's just look at the two measures before that. This is where the triplets start. Now these are the fastest notes in this drill. And so we'll use that age-old rule that the tempo of the entire drill will be determined by how fast we choose to play those triplets. So I would like for today, these triplets to be nice and controlled and clean. Oops, my third fingernail buzzed. I don't like that. So this is a nice slow tempo for sure, but it's going to make our quarter notes make our quarter notes very slow. So I might not want to be quite that slow. Let's try the triplets. Let's just do right hand and let's try them at this tempo. Bum, ba, ba, beep, ba, ba. Ready, set, go. Whoops, now here's your fourth finger. Ooh. That wasn't very good. It's not good if I turn and talk to you while I should be concentrating on my playing. All right, let's do that again. So this is measure 7, the end of the second line, just right hand and just those triplets. Let's get it going at that speed. Ready, set, go. Now your fourth finger here. And then you're going to place for that next chord grouping, yeah? Should we try that one more time, right hand? Ready? Okay, ready, set, go. And then place for that next arpeggio. All right? Okay, guess what we get to do now? We get to do left hand. Okay, same thing. But notice the left-hand notes are different. They start on the D instead of on the F. But still, the same thing when we get all the way up the octave to that D at the end of measure 8, we're going to need our fourth finger again. So be prepared for that. Okay, here we are. Measure 7. Left hand. Ready, set, go. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. I just was watching something and totally fell off the strings. My fault. Bad. All right. This is why we warm up. All right. Ready, set, go. And your fourth finger now. And place that next grouping. Yeah. All right. This is hard for me to get clean. My third finger always feels too long. It feels really clumsy. So I was kind of watching it extra hard the first time to sort of make sure it wouldn't buzz, and that's when I actually fell off the strings. Okay, let's try this again. So measure 7, left hand. All right, ready, set, go. And your fourth finger. Sometimes it's better if I don't pay too much attention to it. Let's try left hand one more time and see if you can get yours even cleaner than mine. Okay, ready, set, go. I'm working a little too hard with my third finger. I can fix that later. But in any case, you ready? We're going to try this hands together. So left hand, right hand. And this again, just measures 7 and 8. Okay, here we go. Whew. All right, ready, set, go. Fourth finger. Okay, left, Deb says her left hand is buzz, buzz, buzz. Well, mine's buzzing its little way up there too. Let's try to clean it up again. When I get a lot of fingernail buzz, I find that sometimes I'm just trying too hard and like diving in with my finger or something weird, instead of just opening my finger, just opening it out of my hand and putting it on the string. When I do that, when I just have it do what it's supposed to do and nothing extra, it generally plays a little bit better. So when I said I was working too hard before, I was trying really hard to make it do something that it just doesn't need to do. Oh, that was a nice buzz. Third fingers are too long and they tend to sort of overcomplicate things. This is the kind of drill that's really wonderful, these two measures, to do very slowly. And see if you can minimize your motion with your third finger. The buzz factor is a lot less when you go slower, right? And this will teach you to place better. And this is the kind of thing that I do for refreshing the accuracy of my placing. But for right now, we're working at a different tempo. We're working at a slightly different skill. So we'll come back and do that, or at least I will go back and do that later. Measure 7, hands together, da, 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 ready, set, go. When you get up there. Yep. All right, one last time, and then we'll go back and we'll look at the entire warm-up drill. All right, but right now, again, from measure 7, why don't we play measure 7, 8, 9, and 10? We'll play all the hard stuff right now. So starting measure 7 and then all the way to the end of the third line. Okay, dun, dun, dun. Ready, set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And go on, honestly. And the next arpeggio, watch your thumbs. Okay, so if you have any problems in this warm-up, it's probably right in that section. So that's where you're going to want to work a little bit more slowly. And taking just those 4 bars and working on them the way I just mentioned, quite slowly, right? There was a different kind of a buzz for me. So that your finger action is correct. I'm not up to the 4th finger yet. I forgot where I was. And so that it's nice and clean. Oops. Different kind of buzz again. Just inaccurate placing. This will clean that up for you, and it really will help. And I think I will be spending a little bit of time with this one later. Right now, what we're going to do is we'll go through the entire warm-up, not at the tempo that I just played now, but at the tempo we were going before. 1, 2. So that's going to give us 1 and 2. And so it's going to be a nice, relaxed tempo, which is a good thing, yes. It'll give us a chance to just sort of relax and take everything slowly, which is what we want to do in a warm-up. And before we do that, let's just make sure that you're all sitting straight and comfortably. You're sitting up high, your shoulders are down, you're feeling nice and tall, you're supporting from your core, sitting on your bench on top of those sit bones, sitting straight to the harp and looking straight ahead. I'm going to put both hands on at the beginning because that's always a good idea, if you can. All right, so our nice slow tempo, yum, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, replace your right hand, 3, 4, your right hand goes down, 1, left hand takes over. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place your right hand and we have hands together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jump up. 1, 2, 3. Here come our triplets. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I slowed down a little bit for you. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the chords here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And left hand octaves. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Close them. 3, 4 in our final arpeggio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now obviously this is going to be something that is best done with a metronome. So I'm going to turn my metronome as slowly as it will go on the quarter notes. This metronome will only go down to 40, which is close enough to where we were. Yes, I'm going to put this a little bit behind me so it's not quite so loud for you. Sometimes you don't want to hear the metronome louder than the harp, do you? And let's try it again, and I'll be really strict with this metronome here. I might need to put it on my music stand because I'm going to drop it. Okay. All right, you ready? We're going to do the whole thing again, and then I'll give you a chance to ask some questions about it. All right? So place those hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Get your right hand on there. 3, 4. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. And with threes, 1, 2, 3. And here are our triplets. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Replace. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now let me turn the metronome off and let's see what kinds of questions you have about this one. Sonia says, thank you, that was fun. Okay, well, this is what I like. I like warm-ups that are fun. There are lots of, they're good, and they're good for you, right? One of the things that that you will be working on when you do this with the metronome is that you'll be working at those different subdivisions, right? Going back and forth between the eighth notes and the triplets and the quarter notes and keeping all of those nice and even. Usually these are the subdivisions that are are easier to do at a faster tempo than at a very slow tempo. But at a very slow tempo might be the way you want to practice this. Certainly it's a good way to warm up. Let me see. Nancy says, which metronome do you use? Well, I'll tell you, I use a million different kinds. Hey there, Eduardo, I see you. He's over on Facebook. I use lots of different kinds of metronomes, whatever I have handy. This one is a Korg. This one is a quartz tuner and metronome all in one. So I use this one. I also use a metronome app on my phone. So, you know, whatever is around is what I use. So they're all good. Sarah says, crossing under or over my fourth fingernail tends to hit the string. Am I pronating my wrist? Well, this is possible. If your fourth fingernail is hitting the string, yeah, let's see. I'm taking a look here. You might be twisting your hand. That's what I would suggest. Or, I mean, you could be extending your wrist. Whatever it is, your wrist, your hand, and your arm should all stay in the same position. They should not turn or move up and down at all or in and out. They should be just nice and stable, because that is how your fingers can find the strings all the time. You see how, I mean, my hand, they're not moving, right? That's the support for your fingers. So you just want that to be nice and steady. And then just your fingers move, right? Minimum of motion, always a good thing. Let's see here. What else do we have? Priscilla says, your buzz advice was great. Ease up on the fingers. Well, yeah, sometimes trying too hard is not a good thing. Let's see. Sarah says she has the metronome too and loves the metronome tuner as well. Darlene says, I must watch my hand position, keep thumb high. Well, keeping your thumb high is a good thing. So, and this is the time to watch when you're doing a warm up, right? Nancy says, thank you. Need one to stand on every music stand. Yeah, well, this one, you know, this one's very handy. It comes, it'll like, you know, have a little thing so that you can prop it up on your desk. I actually have a little pouchy thing that I can store mine in. And I don't like to have my metronomes on the part of my music stand where I had it today, which was closer to the harp, because sometimes if it falls off the stand, it falls, you know, toward the harp, and I don't like that. But that's always good. Let's see. Beth Ann says she got totally lost. Well, that's okay. We're going to do another run through. You'll get another shot at it. Just try to keep counting and just playing with the counting. But you know what? You'll get value out of this warm up doing it on your own at your own pace. And you'll get a lot more, you'll get a different kind of value, because you'll get all the playing strength and the ability to check what you're doing when you're working on your own. When you're working at a common tempo that we're all working at, if it's not yours, you have the discipline of trying to figure out where you are and to stay with the group. And in order to do that, you may need to sacrifice some of your notes just to stay with the group. So, and that's a different kind of practice, and it's good for you. Let me see. Sarah says, that's what it feels like, how to fix. Oh, that's what it feels like. Well, support your arm from your upper arm and keep your hand steady. Watch the angle of your hand, and it should stay constant. So to keep your hand very steady, all you need to do is watch it. Just the same way Darlene was talking about watching her hand position. You want to think about your arms, your upper arm, where you develop muscle and not tendonitis or something, right? You want to think about your upper arm being the support for the rest of your arm and for your hand and your fingers, and just keep it steady and reduce the excess motion, because you don't need it. Trisha, I think, says, I find it takes way too long to place my fingers on the right strings for the G chords in measures 9 and 10. Yep. That's hard. It does take time and practice. Yes, absolutely. And I would work at hands separately. You know, work each hand by itself to practice that kind of placing, but being deliberate and precise with your placing, so that you're teaching yourself to place all 4 fingers of that arpeggio before you play it, to place your thumb, to place the other 3 fingers, all as a group, working on your placing with that level of precision, no matter what tempo you're working at, and whether you're doing it hands together or hands separately. That's going to be very, very helpful for developing overall skills. Okay, now everybody on Facebook, I just wanted to let you know my Facebook isn't coming in properly, so I'm not seeing your comments. So I'm not trying to ignore you. It's just that I'm not getting the comments there the way I would like. So I'll try to get into the group later on and answer whatever questions are there. Okay, let me see. Nancy says, the 4th finger, how to strengthen? Well, go back and read the blog. Look at the My Harp Mastery theme that we just had not long ago on finger strengthening. But I just did a blog, I believe, on how to strengthen your fingers. And really strengthening them is just being very kind and making sure that you pay attention to each finger individually as part of your warm-up, and that you're helping it to always play the right way, with knuckles curved, closing into your hand, so that it's relaxed, and that will teach it to be strong. Okay, let's see. Okay, everybody's telling me that replacing that arpeggio is tricky. I told you it would be. And so that's the way you want to work on it. Slowly and very carefully, and absolutely precise placing. Trisha's glad she's not alone. Absolutely. That's right. No, we are all in this together. Vicki, I really appreciate you doing this. Well, thank you, Vicki. I'm enjoying doing it, really having a great time with it. So, and Nancy says, parfait, thank you. Well, yeah. It's just watching your fingers. All right, that's all it is. Let me see. Let me get something in here. Somebody put something. Oh, Rob said the external speaker he uses with his laptop is helpful to play along. Yeah, you hear things a little bit better with an external speaker often, don't you? Yeah, nice to have you here, Rob. Sarah says, this is so helpful. Great. Okay, Lisa, I know I see that you were commenting on the video, and I just want to be sure that you know that I will get into the Facebook group this afternoon and make sure whatever questions are there, because I can't pull it up right now. So, all right, let's go through this drill one more time, okay? Just do your best. I am going to put the metronome on again because I think it's really helpful for keeping us even. That way, if I have any irregularity in my tempo, you won't have to try to keep up with me. I'll just keep up with the metronome, okay? All right, so we'll do it all again from the beginning. Here's my suggestion. If you're finding that transition from measure 8 to measure 9 and then to measure 10, if you're finding that difficult, drop out one hand when we get there and just keep playing along with one hand, just play along with your right hand and then bring your left hand back in measure 11 when it comes in. And that will help you stay with us. Okay? All right, here we go from the beginning. Placing my left hand, checking my posture, taking a deep breath because it's a great day. Okay, here we go. So let's go. Let's see. 2, 3, and 4. And 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I'm going to get my right hand on. 3, 4. Here comes right hand. And then left hand. Measure 5. Now jump up. We're using 3 finger groups now. And here come our favorite triplets. Drop out one hand if you need to. arpeggio. 1, 2, 3. And here's the chord. 2, 3, 4. There you go. All right. Woo. Well, that's our warm-up for today. Anything else before I say goodbye for another? We have one more of these warm-ups coming up next week. And then at the end of April, our warm-ups will be done, but we will be, I'm going to have something else ready for you, something else kind of fun. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but it will be something. And if you haven't, let me remind you to sign up for our challenge that we're doing next week. We are doing, I'm going to put the link here in the chat. We are doing our 15 minutes of focus challenge. There's the link in the chat for you. And so every day, Monday through Friday next week, I'm going to have a different, I'll do a live video on a different topic related to focus. And each day there's a PDF, and each day you'll have, you'll be prompted to come up with a different 15-minute routine that's going to help you focus, help you sort out some of the things that you need to do in your practice. And so we'll be going over those on the video and helping you create those focus routines and sort of pull those brain cells together a little bit, right? So, but every day you'll come out with your own 15 minutes that's going to help you in a different area of your practice with different focus. So that's going to be fun. And there's a contest with fabulous prizes. I'm not going to say anything more about it right now, but there are some pretty cool prizes. We've got sort of a little game. We've gamified the challenge. So it's really simple, but it's going to be fun. So in case you needed something with a little motivation there to help you focus, this should give you some motivation. So I've created this it's going to be fun. It'll just be fun. And I can't tell you anything more about it until the weekend. I will be spilling the beans about this on the weekend and the first day of the challenge. So do sign up for that if you haven't. We've got a lot of people who are looking forward to the challenges, so that'll be fun. Yay! Okay, and Doreen says, thank you, especially for the replay. Yep, well, replay will be there. Sarah says that she got a music stand tray at Guitar Center. Yeah, a tray is always kind of nice because you can put your metronome, your pencils, your tuning keys, your tuning forks, your whatever it is you have to, so, and it just hangs below your music stand. So they're always nice. As I said, I made a little pouch thing with my harp, with my kids at Harp Camp a few years ago. So we had a good time with that. So that works out pretty well. Janice says, thank you so much, and not perfect. Neither was mine, right? But I really enjoyed something to work on. Excellent. Good. Well, you know, and that's what we all need, right? Something to work on. Life would be so dull without this kind of challenge. Pam says, thank you so much. Well, you are welcome so much. Really, that much, this much. So, all right, I'm going to let you go for today. And I will look forward to seeing you on the challenge. I hope Darlene, yeah, Darlene made a pouch and she uses it. That's right. So, okay. Thank you for this. Well, you're most welcome, Janice. I'm so glad to have all of you here. And I look forward to seeing you, hopefully all on the challenge, but definitely next Friday. And we'll talk about that later. Okay, never mind. All right, so I'll see you all on the challenge. Talk to you all very soon, and be seeing you on Monday with any luck, right? Well, let me see. Wait, we've got this. Agility etudes are beautiful. A joy to practice. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with those. Oh, and Sue's on a Paraguayan harp. Excellent, excellent. Well, these will work. Yep, no question. So, Laura needs metronome practice. Yeah, don't we all? Don't we all? Okay, all righty. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for all the kind comments, and have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you on the challenge. Okay, bye-bye.